Hey, Moses.
Hey, what's up, Sadicus? How's it going? I'm going to have to agree with Blue on these predictions. The last time these two teams played on Train, it was 16-10. I think it might have been online, but still, Vex now without Hyper, playing with Oscarish. I think that's going to maybe subtract a few rounds in the 16-6, 16-8. Feels about right, but SK, a map that they love. They looked very happy when it came through as the pick out of the random 3 maps. And they'll be starting on the CT side. We've got Madi, Magic's Boy, Asilian, Freeze, and Pimp making up SK Gaming. And for Vexed on the T side, we've got Repo, Ferlin, Rallin, Groovy, and Oscarish. Already freeze blind outside. They'll have to back off into Z, and Pimp will just be spotting that long alley between the trains, looking into T-Con.
So smart to get that smoke out to sandwich right away and get someone out there. Typically, this is an area that gets mollied off quite often, so to have control of it really early as a terrorist makes a lot of sense. I mean, you don't even have to use it. It's like a CT won't wrap on you, so, and if they want to come around that corner, they're going to have to face a Glock, which is basically a 50-50. Not worth it at all.
Vex Gaming very spread out right now. It's actually going to be Groovy who starts things off. He's pushed up the E-Box, got the kill, took someone out of the Z-Connector. Pimp on the back of the bomb train, able to find 1 kill. Can he get any more? Down to 34, and finds one reloading, but also jumping. Can't kill Rallin, and then goes down in the process. And Vexed on the T side looking to start off pretty strong. Bombs going down. Asilian will take 1 off of that bomb train. Maybe going to get another. Gets gooshed up, though. Misses his 1 tap. His second opportunity. It's Oscarish to find the frag. Ferlin's been spotted there. And it's all up to Freeze, back old bomb.
He's got the kit, he's got half HP, and he's got 3 players to find. This is one of the hardest sites in the game to perform a retake on, even just 1v1. 1v3 is even harder. We've seen like crazy plays like from Rain doing 1v4s, but it requires a lot of over-peeking, and you know, almost certainly Vex will be able to win here. It's Freeze looking to save now. Has a kit, you know, has half armor and has a smoke. It's actually not the worst save. It's typically not common to save on a pistol, but if you have absolutely no chance of winning, it's nice to carry this over, especially if you're planning on forcing up or even just spending a little bit of money. Rounds can be won on in the second, and I think here will we see a scout? That's what I'm wondering from Pimp. Actually, no long range guns. Typically, you get a scout, right? You like hit someone once, and then all of a sudden they're 1 CZ bullet away from death. But instead of that, we're gonna have some armor. Freeze actually has 1500 because of that save. But Vex won a very important pistol round.
Let's see, there's been a lot of force-ups today that have been successful. Train can be harder to come by just because of, well, I guess you're on the CT force-by, it's not as bad. They're just going to push and be aggressive. The terrorist force-bys, though, can be problematic because of the range on this map. Oscarish will bring down Madi, and we're in a 4-on-4 as Asilian got that first kill as they pushed up the stairs into the White Halls. Repo to smoke off the Z-Connector and then back up and just make sure no one's flanking them at ladder because someone is thinking about it. It's Asilian, and he's got a MAC-10.
I love the thought of everyone going back lanes instead of going through Z. That's just like a funnel for death, but the other issue that lies from them going back lanes is that they have such long angles to deal with. And I think recycling these guns one more time might be a really good idea because, yeah, they could knock down some equipment value from Vexed, but at the same time, it's not that great. And if they have a single kill, they look to the next round where everyone has AKs, then it's that much more valuable to get the kill then. That being said, it looks like they're trying to chase, which might not be a great idea, but oh wow, full blind, he gets the 1D, and it does count for something. Vex going to the 3rd round with the AKs up. They might hang on to the scout. They know they're going to be able to farm right here, and it'll be interesting to see how they take it. Inner can be a really tough spot. I mean, this is somewhere where you want to go on terrorists on an eco, and outside is much more favorable. It's just that the stack happens outside so much more often, so unless you want to go for a hard read, typically going outside maybe a little bit slower or just defaulting and holding back for pushes makes the most sense.
A lot of rifles coming out for Vexed. 4 AKs, tons of nades. The scout on Rallin will remain as they go up against the unarmored pistol opponents. Most of them not even upgraded, just staying on the USP, so Vexed off to a fantastic start here on the T side of Train as the underdogs in everyone's eyes moving into this matchup. Gonna really have asked for more. We'll see what happens when we get into the first rifle round, and even still, SK Gaming are kind of swarming onto this outer bomb site. Could possibly still cause some trouble, although lining up. Drifting out into the open. Groovy doing a lot of damage. Still not having found a frag. There's one onto Asilian. Rallin, unfortunate switch out to the flash. Flash actually not even that productive. Ferlin still just taking a battle here. We'll find Freeze, and okay, Rallin will take him down first. Ferlin not having to even lift a finger there. Rallin with another. So a double scout kill, and it's Magic's Boy on the inner sight with the P250.
And yeah, I mean they did up to buy Freeze as had a little bit more money, so he was actually able to have armor on that second round, which is pretty interesting. So if he wanted to buy an op, he could still do it, and they all had like a, you know, an equal chance to kind of get kills, even though it hasn't been that successful. Vex have managed to farm these this last round and this round. 5 players were alive here. Absolutely no reason to chase. I mean, like that's just, you know, $4,000 down the drain, and you're trying to kill someone who has a P250, and look, he just gets 2 kills.
And now he's come away with an AK, potential to save it. It wasn't as bad with maybe one of them dying, because Rally could have come over, and you know, then you have your 4 AK still preserved. But Magic's Boy making it expensive, gonna get another. Oh, the wall pen, and misses the P250 shot. I heard an expletive.
Yeah. Won't repeat it, but that was so much damage done. And it's like, he kills the first guy, gets an AK, and then there's a reason to chase him. But originally, there was no reason to go look for him at all. I mean, well, you take a P250 from him, what is that going to do, really? At most, he has half armor to match. But yeah, now Vex go into this round, just pretty much blew their economic advantage. Now SK are on good footing to have a decent round, and then ideally go into the next round versus a save. Cillian's having some pressure put on him though. Solo man inner goes 1 for 1 with the help of Freeze actually, and Rowland comes out with a frag as well. And this explosiveness is paying off greatly. Rotates being crushed from outside already, and wow, this Vex coming out fierce.
Yeah, what a disaster. Pimp, the only one up. Everyone had already fallen. He was just kind of left scratching his head here in the Z connector. He's hit 1 op shot. They have a reason to chase on this round, take that op out of their hands. Instead, Pimp will take the op out of Rowland's hands. Gruby and Oskarish, well, they've won the round. Will they continue to hunt, though? Because, you know, money's still not that situated. Of course, SK Gaming, not on max loss bonus yet, will be having to take a save. And Oskarish finishes him off. So no op.
You know, really, really common to just spot that lower ramp as a CT. Pretty much everybody does it. It seems like a foolproof strategy. You know, I guess until you get rushed down the ramp and you don't have anyone to support you. The op was there and it got a kill, but because he couldn't get to cover fast enough, and I guess wasn't anticipating someone crossing and then just them running down the ramp even though they didn't get the kill, means that Vexed are now up to 4-0 and have earned themselves a save from SK. These CT rounds, so valuable, are starting to deplete.
Yeah, well, Ferlin going to put in some friendly damage there onto Rowland, but not much more than a scratch. Magic's Boy took a lot of damage, but he's up on top of the blue train. Trying to look into the connector. Freeze backing him up there from the ground, but he's one of the guys, so more or less the full eco here, just some upgraded pistols. Actually, a pretty expensive one. Pimp goes for the Deagle. Searching for those 1-Deags, but hasn't found anything yet. Grubby will just flash himself. Good thing no one was there.
Congratulations.
You flashed yourself. And they'll just watch the ladder, looking for any pistol round shenanigans, basically, from SK. They're being very, very patient, making sure they're watching everything.
Ooh. Pimp taking some pot shots in there, and everyone's grouped by the ladder here, but it looks like they're going to just walk down, and it seems like the right side to go to. If anyone crosses upper, we'll see if this angle is tried and true. Cillian seems pretty confident that this will get him a kill.
I mean, it's a CZ. Should be able to grab 1.
It's true. Easy CZ.
Or 2. Nah, but the aim punch comes into an effect. But yeah, still does grab the 1 frag. Repo gets the trade. 4 on 4 now. Bomb to be planted. Who was that playing up close next to the smokes? I believe that is Oskarish thinking about pushing it. And Gruby and Ferlin still down on the floor. Ferlin thinking about pushing up to the fuel tanker. He'll bring down Freeze. Repo's up in the halls watching that. Magic's Boy and Madi trying to do what they can. Now just Madi underneath by Pop Dog, but nothing done. Ferlin, quick headshot.
There's the 5-0 with the economy. Definitely by far their hardest round. So, you know, this is a round unlike the rifle round that they had gone up against before. We got the Molotov, so say Cillian goes and spots again lower ramp, and they want to do the exact same strategy. Well, this time they're going to have to run through a molly to get into the ramp. More than certainly he'll throw it. Also, they're just, it probably wouldn't be wise to try the exact same tactic because it works so well that SK will almost certainly will respond in panic and
looks like
burn a lot of nades.
Very, very quick outer.
Yeah, super fast.
Molotov's going down everywhere. Smokes. Pimp can't see anything. The fire's crawling up the train, blocking his vision, so Pimp will do the same. He goes up top. Now he's flash, caught in the open potentially. Does get a jump off the ladder, a little bit back to safety. More smokes going down, but he'll be in front of this one. And yeah, key player, they're trying hard to take him down, and they'll get the trade. Is that two CTs up in CT heaven? Groovy's going to run past one of them as they fly out of the smoke. Magic's Boy is still up here on the desk.
And Groovy is just in hell, waiting.
Freeze that old bomb, and everything has slowed down.
I mean, he could just inch his way up here. I don't think they would be aware. Oh, Freeze finds that frag, and now Oscarish has the bomb. He's over at Sandwich. I think it's spotted. There are 4 CTs alive. No smokes left from the Ts. And this is the issue about coming in explosive and not following through. You don't get that bomb down while the smokes are up, and your round becomes so much harder.
Well, it's a 2-on-2. Okay, the nade will take down Oscarish, who I think was on about 10 HP. Now it's up to Furlan to find these last remaining CTs. One coming through Z, and the other, I think, is that in the back CT hall. That's going to be Freeze. Yeah, he's moved over to the Ivy side of things. And there he will. So 2 nice shots from Freeze with the op from the back halls. Pretty much secures that. And SK Gaming are now on the board with 1 round to the 5 of Vexed.
Yeah, I mean, the Molly and Sandwich is what completely shut down the rush. They didn't want to go through it. They threw Mollies out instead of smokes because they take so long to pop. People just come out T-Con, and off the left side of T-Con just throw a Molly at Ivy, so whoever is opping can't come and peek that. And if you can run all the way down there, get health control, or wrap Sandwich, you can kill the guy on site really easily and help your teammates wide peek E-box. But on that round, because they Molly Sandwich, they completely shut that down. And it seems to be the most critical part of Outer, and controlling it is obviously a priority for both teams.
Wow, great flash. Oh, man! It got, is that Furlan? Yeah, that flash got Furlan out of trouble, but then Freeze jumps over to the trains and actually spots Rowland, who was holding that angle the whole time. And Freeze is able to win out, so a great shot for him to start off the round for SK Gaming. Furlan trying to do something to even it up. Does get a kill onto Freeze, so there's a sniper duel for you, but Magic's Boy quickly, almost instantaneously on that trade. And here's Repo bringing into a 3 versus 3. No, someone's on that bomb train, and with the AK, stay away from the fire.
So much damage.
Like Madi gets a spray down through a smoke. And just like that, you're into a 2-on-2 with about a minute to go. Groovy does have the bomb, and Oscarish is now going to be the point man moving into this inner bomb site. But the actually rotations have not been made. It's just a Cillian holding out in Z connector, so bomb's going to go down for free.
Yeah, I mean, retaking B site is fully manageable, and just playing a 2v2 together makes a lot of sense. But they will have to retake, and it would have been nicer if they went right to their site, but they didn't. A Cillian not quick enough to catch these peaks. Yeah. Oh man, he really wants this frag, and he's going to get it, Oscarish. No slouch. Now, Groovy here at upper, pretty much the best aftermath spot. It's 1 flash versus no nades, half HP each, but positional advantage to Groovy, and he comes out
perfect
at
timing.
the right time in a critical moment. Wins the 1v1 to get the money-breaking round.
That's really going to hurt. That 1 win out there on an island for SK, the hard reset. They've got to go through well, they've either got to find some success on a force-up or a lackluster rifle round, or just lose out to get that max bonus again. Maybe things will be a bit easier, but that's not really any solution, especially in a best of 1 on your CT half on a map that you prefer, and it's very CT-sided.
Not sure what the logic was behind Cillian just buying here. I think it's not uncommon to just force up if you get your money broken like that, because you're gonna have to double save no matter what. Yeah. Similar to what happens after a pistol, but here we have a Cillian, no money, and the rest of his team double save away. I guess ultimately if they all save, he's just gonna have a low buy, but we'll still be able to afford a rifle because they're gonna have to save so long. But I guess why not force up in that circumstance?
Look at Madi though. This is being watched, and wow, with the UMP so quick on the trigger, Rowland was expecting that. Oscarish and crew now working down. Ooh. And there's a Cillian with that CZ, so he's earning some money back. Pimp with the scout headshot onto Furlan. Now Groovy's second guessing this. Repo also turning around. He was a little further back, but he was trying to bring the bomb Ivy, and now they've got to reconsider their position. They're actually a man down right now.
If they had people positioned towards inner, I'm sure they would have just ran. Wow, what a shot! They would have just ran the bomb, but instead it looks like they're re-aggressing outside because that'd be a little bit too obvious. The problem is that SK haven't seemed to move yet. Now it's 2v2, which is not that bad. Oh, a player in ladder. Who is that?
That's Magic's Boy with the CZ, though, at that range. The recoil getting the better of him. Not able to convert it into a frag, and now it's up to Cillian. He's got 1 kill already. He'll need to get 2 more. 20 seconds on the clock, so time to work with, but that's going to hurt. Slow him down. Rowland had the bomb, and now it's dropped out in the open. It comes down to Groovy versus Cillian. Both have drawn blood in this round. HP more or less the same. And that's a 1v1 in the outer yard of Train. Honestly, anything can happen, but with the time getting low, and okay, going for the fake plant, trying to bait it out. Asilian has got to know at this point. 3 seconds, doesn't hear the noise, he can win, and that was a tense moment. Asilian gets the frag.
I mean, yeah, that was kind of a questionable play, I guess, to fake plant. I think I mean, it's in Asilian's best interest to let the bomb go down, just play the 1v1. Groovy thought he was going to run out, and maybe because he was low that he was going to take a risk, but he had an AK.
And time was low too, I guess.
Time was low. I mean, he can, he had to either commit to that, but I mean, pulling out his knife was not one of the plays at all. I think, running over that Train, he almost had the opportunity to shoot Asilian from a high-low position and get that kill right away. But SK pull out a second round on the eco, which is not something Vex wanted at all, so credit to them. But Vex still have a buy going on, and SK don't have that great of an economy in spite of being able to win that round on an eco. Well, I guess, yeah, no, it was. I mean, the thing was they just didn't have any money, have much money saved anyway.
Yeah. And even in that round, it was upgraded pistols, and I think only about 3 players with armor.
Yeah.
So it's insane that SK were able to win that, and Vex, looking back, are really going to have to kick themselves about that. That was a massive round that just could have actually led to a very dominant T-half, and now they might falter a little bit because they're pretty poor themselves. Deagle no armor on Repo, Deagle armor on Oscarish, AK and some very limited utility, about 2 smokes and 2 flashes to try to take this inner bomb site. There's really no going anywhere else. They've got to commit to inner. The Molotov's slowing them down.
Asilian seemed adamant about playing on top of the pop dog Train here, and there's definitely a good reason for that. It's one of the best angles to kill people coming down the ramp. You could shoot feet before they could shoot you back, and it looks like the bomb might go down here.
5 on 5.
Oh, 5 on 5.
Make it 4 as Groovy gets a nice shot from Pop Dog. Another spray down long range. Peeking that again with 17 HP. Did a lot of damage. Just didn't find the frag. Both Madi and Magic's below 20 HP because of it. Now Pimp trying to push forward. Freeze landing that op shot. And now suddenly just Furlan and Oscarish left to hold on. So maybe a bit of a chance. A lot of players are low. Furlan doing some work here. If Pimp tries to peek, he's low.
They got to get on this bomb. No kit.
Yeah, no kit could be a problem. That's what happens in Money as tight. Pimp is so low, and you're looking the wrong way. Furlan, and yeah, hearing those cheers.
Nice play to reaggress that lower ramp. I mean, he could have gone upper, and that's what Freeze was counting on. He pretty much had to gamble it too, and with no kit in sight, no nades, smoke or flash or anything to help him out, it looks like Vexed were able to come away with it. So 2-7 now, and some of these rounds, man, super close, but all that matters at a certain point is the score at the top.
Yeah, and you can see highlighting those close rounds, 2 in that one, 1, and then 1 surviving there, of course. The member of SK just saving and keeping that up alive. That was Freeze. Pimp will pull out a scout. CZ's and Famas also coming out for SK. And Oscarish, look at that. Recon player pulling out the MAC-10. Just going to go maybe sniff out a stack if there is one, but not the case. A little heavier on inner. 2 people here right away, but Asilian getting either goosed up or didn't have armor. Aim punch so hard. Furlan gets a double entry. Magic's boy on the flank. Ruby will shut it down before it gets dangerous. 4-on-2 post plant for Vexed Gaming.
Wow, and they're just getting that Polish sausage right now.
Nice.
Because it's just that explosiveness. I mean, we see it in Virtus Pro, and I think that's what we're talking about on Train. It's just like on T side, you have to be fearless, right? And we see so many teams play scared on their outer takes. We saw a round that was like, that almost ended in Vex losing because they slowed down, but they started out playing fierce, and it's almost to a fault sometimes. Like we see them chasing on that eco. Is that ridiculous?
Full blind CZ kill.
Seen them chasing on that eco, but I don't know, it follows through on the rifle rounds. You got to take those risks on T side, get rid of your nades, pull your AK out, hit some headshots. And yeah, it looks like SK are succumbing to the pressure at the moment. Not very much money once again, and that's been,
this is crazy.
The recurring theme of their CT side.
Already Vexed is up to the rounds in the first half on their T side that anyone gave them.
Yeah.
So there you go, 8 rounds already to the 2 of SK, and there's got to be about 0% chance on this one. SK Gaming with the full eco, no armor, no pistols, and now that MAC-10 looking like a good prospect here for Oscarish. Try to get that money. Groovy a little trigger happy, shooting his own teammates it looked like, but it won't matter all that much. Pimp does find 1 kill. 4-on-2. And Magic's boy's been found out in the back halls here. No sense in retreating, but it's going to be hard to win a fight as well.
Yeah, I mean, just going to try to get exits. Like, no point peeking someone else's angle with the USP. Best you'll get is a dink, and your cross will go right to the sky. So
that HSP though, Launders.
True. Gotta look up for the stats.
Ferlin over
We are in America.
the blue train, exactly. Land of the stats. Ferlin pulls out a pistol to fight a pistol, and he'll win. And Magic's boy, again, trying to do something, trying to take a gun. I'm not even sure where Oscars actually went down. Probably somewhere in the outer yard if he can get a gun and post the explosion. That would actually be really good for Magic's boy. It'll be exactly what he tries to do.
You know, I'll put it to a fluke if SK managed to recover in the later part of this half. Honestly, like I wouldn't be surprised. I would say SK pound for pound or
has to start now. We're pretty much in the later part of the half.
Yeah, I mean SK pound for pound are, I think everyone would agree, the more talented team. Better aim, better teamwork, I guess, on paper. But Vexed with their explosiveness, their explosiveness, their rifle. I mean, they're getting that entry at B has been so crucial. That's resulted in saves both times, and it's just been right off spawn. So here the flashes inner to scare him, and we got almost an over rotation.
Wow.
And the man outer who was gonna go help out inner gets caught out of position as well.
Oh, Freeze! He spotted a man on top of that blue train. That person will back down. And it's actually evened up. Magic's boy got caught out in the open, coming back from an over-rotation. But they were able to even it up. Now Groovy finding another Cillian, going to try to pop flash himself through. Very effective there. Ferlin extremely blind. Freeze now hitting a shot, and they spotted Groovy out up in CT Sky. Sounds like he dinked somebody. I'm not sure who. Cillian will also get a lot of damage done on to Rallen. 2-on-1. It's Groovy up top. I believe they know where he is. Freeze is trying to give him those jiggle peeks. As a player getting on the bomb, and okay, Freeze with the op shot will lock it down. It didn't look like a round that was going to go well for SK Gaming, but they claw their way back into it, mainly thanks to Freeze's with the op. Picks up the 4K.
Freeze Gaming was their name on that round.
Freeze tag.
Freeze tag, yeah. Yeah, he had them stopped in their tracks. I don't know, are they going to turn this to I thought they were dropping another op, but no, it looks like Freeze is going to hang on to that. They're going to put it to use. The issue for them there, I think Vexed, the problem was they didn't get the bomb down early enough, but at the same time, they took time to wrap the site, and Groovy was managed to get a kill on the bomb site, and then all the rotators were the ones to do all the work. So, well, I guess Freeze managed to stay alive long enough to be one of the retake impact players.
Yeah, he's been pretty passive with that op on the back of the bomb train, back of green, or even falling all the way into the back halls there at Ivy or old bomb train. Been hitting a good amount of shots. Vexed Gaming still 9-3 and still with money to work with here.
Yeah, and this is what you want on your T side from the CTs, is to get them to play 2-3. Once you get them in that position, then like outside becomes a lot more viable if you can get Ivy control. And it's not even about actually using it, right? It's just about making them play like that, so you can control the rotations. And there's Freeze to find some info, take a shot and fall off. Cillian down to 15 HP, once again inner. Seems like he's almost not getting a fair shake sometimes, getting caught off guard quite often, but...
Oh, it's so blind now. Did Ferlin see him go up there? I don't know if he did. It seemed like it was going to be a free kill, but no, just missing it there on the edge of the smoke. That allows Cillian to set up on the angle, but he was low. He lost the trade out, the smoke spray down battle, and Ferlin will finish him off later. Pimp, oh, that was unfortunate. Dropping between the tanker and the wall on a weapon switch, and Ferlin goes in and takes him out too. Double kill. Finally, Magic's boy will get him out of the round, but now Repo, who was lurking over at Ivy for days, kills Madi, who was also still there.
Yeah, he was waiting.
Yeah, so doing a really good job, Repo, pinning a player to Ivy and then winning out. So now you got a 4-on-2 post plant, and you've got someone on the back lines. That's Repo. He could go anywhere. He could come Z. He could go CT, and now Magic's boy still doing his best here inside. Takes down Groovy, but you got a man lower ramp and on the upper catwalk. No Molotovs to throw out, but it won't matter as Oskarish and Repo with a cool role in that round, and he performed it well.
Continuing the dominance are Vexed, carrying over every round. Even on the rounds they've lost, even that previous round came down to a 1v1. So yeah, it's not exactly looking bright for SK. I mean, it seemed like a unlucky start to the half, followed by momentum on that first round, getting a fast entry, and now Vex are able to play rounds out slowly and still win. So on all fronts, they're looking very terrifying. SK looking at a maximum potential of a 5-10 half, which is a failure by any metric.
As long as Oscar has this gun out, it might not be that bad. The aggression here from the CTs, but it doesn't go well. Vexed Gaming shoot him down, and Magic's boy trying to go up the ladder. That's still being watched by Repo. That man is a hawk. He's been watching everything for this team.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Like they're performing these rushes, and it seems like they're just gonna 5-man things, and there's always like somebody way back waiting for rotators and always getting them off guard. And it's like good on SK to try to get a nice big flank going on so that you have at least an opportunity on the retake. But their latest rotator always gets outpatience by Vex's. Oof, peace.
Repo again, back-to-back 2K rounds. One was on a rifle. That was a bit of a broken by force up there, including some pistols, some rifles, and even some shotguns from SK Gaming. And we actually had Magic's boy get DC'd, but luckily there's not going to be any issues. He comes back and his money is where it should be. So everything's going to be good there. What's not good, if you're SK or an SK Gaming fan, is that they have 3 rounds on the CT side and Vexed has 11, and a good opportunity here to find 12, which this has got to be already just in the first half, the biggest upset performance so far.
That's the one. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, I slept on Vex. I'll give them that. Like at first, again, if SK came back and won 6 rounds, I would have said, well, they're getting control of it. You know, maybe Vex fluked those first ones, but after they slowed it down, and we're still able to continue the pressure, win slowly, catch all these flanks. It seems like they're hitting all check marks in terms of. They're hitting all check marks when it comes to just positioning, hitting shots. It's all going so great. And it's like all in their control, you know. A little bit is timing strike. Like we see players getting unlucky from SK, but that's because of the explosiveness and because of the pressure, right? You make them play your game, you catch them off guard, you make them uncomfortable, and then you get those lucky timings all the time.
Yeah. Actually, one of the few rounds that SK actually has is when Vexed was flying out into the outer yard, doing a very quick rush, but then just kind of failed to keep up with the level of commitment that they needed. But since then, we haven't really seen them falter that much. They've been great, and here they go into the outer yard again, very, very fast, dealing with so many CZs. They can do nothing at this range. That's actually the rifles, and I think an op that went down already. And looking for a flawless round, Team Ace to close out the half, 12-3. Were SK even in the server for that round?
I don't know. Honestly, beautiful. Look at Furlan, 21 kills, 21-8. That's a huge half. I mean, there's nothing but positive things to say about Vex, and it's like, you know, you could talk about how SK weren't playing well, but at the same time, it feels like Vex would have made anyone look like a fool.
They're looking really good. I mean, there are a lot of questions about what was going to happen. Everyone pulling their weight. Rowland, who you'd think, all right, he's probably the star player now since Hyper's gone. He's at the bottom, 8-5-10, still not that bad. There's only so many people to kill in one half when Furlan's got 21, Grooby's got 13, and Repo with 14.
Yeah.
Even Oscarish is doing well.
It was SK to beat Navi, like most recently on Train.
I can check their matchups real quick. Yeah, that was back February 11th in ESL Pro League. They beat Navi 16-12 on Train.
Not all that long ago.
I mean, Vex had some very good results also on Train. It's just you expect, all right, Hyper's not here. That's got to impact them, but so far it really hasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it really hasn't, which is pretty incredible. I mean, Hyper was definitely a player we were expecting to be a huge player in this matchup or in this match or just for them. And, you know, just losing the chemistry alone is one thing, you know, losing the player talent and the skill and stuff like that, but then the guy that you're used to playing with as well, that can be hard to cope with, but it seems they're doing just fine.
Well, with a lot of the substitutions that happened at this tournament, at least in Vexed's case, they can all speak Polish. So the communication might not have been affected. I'm not actually sure how their communication was really beforehand amongst themselves, but
feels good, man.
I mean, it must be good because their T side looked extremely dominant. And credit to Freeze. He's trying. He was hitting op shots. The few rounds that they won, he had to hit 4 op shots to win it.
Why is nobody helping me?
Exactly.
He has had a couple huge rounds. I mean, you know, you have the op, you know, you have a weapon that's worth so much. You're expected to have an impact, but not to get 4 kills every round. Certainly not that.
All right, now we switch things about. Vexed Gaming to the favored side with 12 rounds. And it will be actually all armor for everyone. Repo holding a close angle, but the Glocks get in and they're dangerous. Scrooby having to back off. Can he do anything? Does get 1 kill. Surprised he even found that. Players falling all around him, and Rowland's going to go down. Here's Freeze again. 2 big kills. Definitely top fragging for this team in Oscarish. The last one up, 1v4. So SK Gaming, there's still a chance.
I pray we don't see T-sided Train after all the praise I just had for Vexed. I mean, you see a pistol round like this, and you're just like, whoa, who are these beasts, right? But I think it'll still come down to who's able to take the first rifle. If we see the first rifle go the way of Vex, I mean, I'm just going to call it for SK. But if not, I mean, again, it's a matter of breaking the economy. You get the first 5 by winning a single rifle round. Everyone has to keep that in mind. You know, it can get ugly real fast on CT side if you aren't able to win the first rifle.
All right. Vexed Gaming, what do they put into this round? You got the UMP, some armor there on Groovy. Everyone else with armor and pistols, except for Rowland. He just goes for, I think that's still the P2K there, because he'll want to get out to that op on the CT side, of course. Freeze getting some shadows, but somehow losing out on that battle. Uh-oh.
Doing a measly 16 damage right there. What was that?
And this would be just, it's not as bad on the T side if you win the pistol and then get forced up because it doesn't hit the economy as hard. But when the other team already has 12 rounds, it's still very, very bad. And SK Gaming got to do their best not to start panicking now, having got a man down.
Yeah, certainly. And it's really hard not to. You worry about the gun, you worry about the map control, you worry about the confidence that you gave the other team.
Ruby almost found another kill.
Yeah. Did manage to trade out, though. I think man advantage is more important than the health at some point, because that's what everyone would be thinking about, where you know, can somebody shoot me in the back of the head and the side of the head? And I think, you know, it's in Vexed's best interest to just try to turtle up as much as possible. And they are playing 2-2, and Furlan going down without a trade is going to be a really good sign for SK. Now, Oscar Rich is going to have terrorists converging on him. Well, he will find the 5-7 kill, and now it's 3v3 again with sandwich control on this retake.
I like this discussion in chat about how do you have a UMP. Bomb goes down, though, so it's up to Vex. It was 3-on-3 when it came to the post plant. Now Vex with only 2 members up. That's Repo and Rowland. Repo out in the open with an MP7, and Rowland unable to do anything with the trade with the Deagle. He'll go down, and SK Gaming lost a man early, almost 2. Yep. Got a bit sketched, but they persevere and find that second round.
Yeah, I mean, it goes from a round that it looks like they're just going to lose straight up. You know, we almost saw it in the first half. And then it turns into a round where you only lose 2 people. And you get the bomb down, which is really, really nice. So SK come away with a pretty good round here. They're going to be able to farm this one, and we'll see what how they play their T side, what they decide to do in terms of versing, saving players. If they have a specific plan against Vexed or not. I wouldn't assume so. And it looks like the same stack is coming out for Vex, pushing in her.
Well, getting some kills with even the default pistols. There's actually a Galil in the hands of Oscars, not quite using it yet. And all right, man advantage for Vex, just aggression all over the map, the outer yard and up those stairs into the White Halls.
They gave up the bomb. As they assume someone else will be there. And really playing to win here. Everybody low on Vex. Yeah, it wouldn't be smart to camp the bomb in that situation. And now they're just going to try to look for the best flank possible. I think when SK see the bomb is forfeited, that this is going to be an option. Magic Boy already scouting outside, though, is really big. So they actually have info on this site.
Yeah, maintaining some control. Because train can get so scary because, well, there's trains on it, and there's a lot of them that you can hide behind. Tons of nooks and crannies. So when Vex gave up the bomb and just went off to different hiding places, it was still pretty scary for them.
Yep. Now, Furlan is going to be the interesting person here, as he's walked the entire T-Con flank. But it looks like Magic Boy's checking from Sandwich, and I think he spotted Furlan, so it's not going to be too useful anymore. Yep.
And it goes in, only 8 damage here to Magic's Boy. Free's going to take down Oscarish, and Repo trying to fall back to old bomb train. The MAC-10, okay, will be dealt with. Repo finds a headshot, now 1-on-1, but not enough time, no kit, but still trying to cause some damage to that T-side economy by finding a kill, and both of the players, each with a Galil in hand, will back off.
Repo, Heaven just got repoed.
Nice. And there you go. So I found an AK actually for Magic's Boy, so that's much better. And of course, SK finding another round. It's now 6-12. Vexed Gaming still with a sizable lead.
Yep, very good. I mean, 6-12. This is a very, very important round. This will make it seem more like this will take back what Vex did to SK in the first half if they're able to come away with it. And I'd say there was a little bit of not so much luck, but I mean, I guess being in the right place at the right time on the part of Vexed in that half. But coming out with the first kill is something that we didn't see from SK.
Yeah, Rowland took down Freeze right away. I think he kind of expected. Freeze has been having a good game. He's going to want to try to put this map into his own hands and go for an aggressive peek on the T side. Rowland holding the angle first just shuts it down completely. And Vexed Gaming into a good spot. Not a lot of utility, though. But they do have one kit on Repo at least.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, CT's job to stay alive, SK's job to find a frag, even up for free. and then move into a site.
Everyone just maintaining their map control. Good aggressive hold here with Oskarish in between the sandwich area. Blue chain, green train could be very, very dangerous. And SK Gaming trying to figure out what to do. Two people falling back out of the white halls to maybe go back to T-Con. Furlan, we switch over to him, back of green train, watching Ivy. And there is still a man there. That's Magic's boy lurking Ivy.
If we take a look at Rowland, he's being very, very mobile, and that's always good with an op, keeping presence everywhere. Maybe increasing his chances of finding a really easy kill, getting a lot of info, cutting the map off in different areas. But will it matter? We got the split towards outside, and Oskarish is the man of the hour. It looks like they want his head, but they can't find it. Asilian trades.
Crazy that he's even able to get one. They were pinching him on both sides there. Rally getting another op shot to Asilian. Looks over to the ladder, and there's Madi. Beautiful headshot with the AK into a 2-on-2, and another one. Takes someone out of CT Sky. That was Furlan. Now it's all Groovy. And Pimp was behind the train and also in the cover of smoke when he got the bomb down. Looks like Madi's hiding out behind E-Box, and Pimp also falling back and trying to get to a better post-plant position. But Madi, man, he cracked this round wide open with the 3K. Has potential to close it out with 4. Groovy moving forward in a 1 versus 2 now. We'll spot the bomb. Try to maybe infer where those post-plant positions are based on where the bomb was. I think he spotted Pimp. Now he knows where they both are, but time's running low, and Madi will take him down with a beautiful 4K on this round.
All headshots and incredible entries. I mean, he took that round in his own hands and really just put his team back in this game. I mean, without that, it would have been an easy hold outside for Vex. They had more than enough people to do it. Saw Oskarish get a kill that should have been really difficult for him to do. And now Vex have to worry about actually getting themselves a CT round. They haven't done it yet and are on another save. So this is the path that you can take as a terrorist to stage a comeback. This is exactly how it starts. And it only gets easier as long as you keep stringing the rounds together. You can't start trading rounds. That'll only favor Vexed. And so the cards are still stacked in their favor.
Yeah. Well, this is exactly how it started, right? Vex got 4, then 5 in a row. This is SK Gaming's chance for 5 in a row, but look at this aggression at T-Con. Oskarish and Rowland finding 2 kills. Now they've got guns in their hands, well, rifles that is, and the man advantage 5-on-3.
Quite a beautiful flash there in the T-Con. 2 frags had instantly. No trades came out. And now Madi might look to make a play. I mean, that's, you go into playmaking mode when you go down into a man disadvantage like this. And it is still Vex Gaming that have very low equipment value. Many people many people don't have any armor. Just something to consider for themselves. And it looks like Madi's going to throw what's called what I like to call a launder's fake outside.
Inside, but inside, but yes.
Inside, yeah. Just go and dump
the other side.
everything you have by yourself.
And he actually pushes out and finds a kill onto Groovy, I think, or was he maybe doubling back. We're on Magic's boy right now. Back at the bomb train in the outer yard. You can see Madi very low, retreating back there through X-ray in the halls. And they're being flanked. Magic's boy thinks Ivy's clear. Oh, man, he goes back to check now, pulling out a Molotov. There is still a man there. It's Oskarish.
Oscar shot at him. Ooh. Wow. That's kind of nail in the coffin right there, I feel like.
Yeah, Madi gets cleaned up on his way back to the outer site. Pimp still in a very good spot. That one could be hard to get people. As I say that, Repo with the headshot. Now Magic's boy, his position is known. One's on the bomb, another up on the green train. Magic's boy, he can't shoot at that. Does he have to? Oh, no kit here. That was 6 seconds on the bomb. If they had a kit, it was theirs, but no, they don't. And very, very close. Too close for comfort for SK Gaming. Magic's boy with the 3K.
Yeah, and it's really nice to make it expensive, but ultimately SK are crawling their way back into this, and it looks like a pause out for Vex. I think it's a good time to do it. A lot of momentum in the camp of SK Gaming at the moment, and they want to try to put a stop to that. Pause is a really great tactical way to do that. I mean, we've seen so often a pause just swing the momentum completely to the other team, and not only that, but it helps you get your head together, reconcile your losses, move forward. And there's Madi, I think, consulting with a teammate right now.
This is also the most money that Vexed is going to be able to put into a round so far in this half.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's going to have full everything. And the op comes out for Rowland. He was already good for one first kill of a round where he out-opt Freeze in the outer yard. I think probably Z T-Con, or maybe the back train stop to T-Con was where the battle was. But Vex Gaming going to take some time to think about this. See how they can bolster up that defense, because honestly, both teams have had a pretty lackluster defense so far on the CT side.
Yeah, one huge difference from the first half, it doesn't exactly mirror what we're seeing right now, is that SK haven't saved up quite as much money as Vex did. Vex
Yeah.
not only survived the ecos, but they survived it 5 alive, apart from that second round, which was almost a disaster. They managed to build up to like 10, almost 10K apiece on a couple players, and that allowed them to have the ability to lose rounds and still come back on T side, win more rounds than they should have, and not have to like double save or anything like that. SK don't have that economical advantage, right? And that's another, huge factor in Counter-Strike.
And it looks like they are ready to go back into the game here. Just 5 seconds of freeze time left. Let's see if we can notice any changes in the defense of Vex Gaming, or maybe if they're leaving it aggressive, because they were getting aggressive on their force-ups, and it was very, very effective. Maybe they should go for it on a rifle. Doesn't look like they'll do it yet. We've got Repo setting up on inner by himself. Quick rotator is going to be Rowland in the Z connector with an op, which makes sense. 2 on the back of Green Train, and on the bomb, it will be Groovy in the outer yard.
What's the play here? Vex aren't going to come out with an early pick. Rowland being very mobile. Kind of hard to pin down to one location. Can't say this is where he plays every round. He's not that type of player. And SK waiting for pushes, waiting for a mistake from Vex, who don't seem to be getting anxious at all. Have the solo man inner.
Oh, Magic's Boy looking to set up a smoke. He's already lined it up, but takes the gun out just to make sure to watch for pushes. I see Furlan moving around, flashing, maybe wanted to get a peek, but still not committing to anything yet. Nice setup here, actually, between Oskarish and Furlan. Assuming they... Oh, that's an easy one to line up. Right in the middle of the circle. But if they actually decide to go down that long alley between green and blue train, they could be in trouble, because there's a crazy crossfire setup there. And, well, smokes go over. This is telegraphed. Flashes, counter smokes coming out from Vex Gaming right now. Some Molotovs are landing from SK to clear out the site, and they're just going to try to plant in the smoke. Ruby going for that spam down, but nothing landing, and the bomb's already been planted. 5 versus 5 right now.
Ooh, huge advantage getting that bomb down. Not losing a single man right now. Ooh.
Wow. Rowland a little off to the right, it looked like. Then hits the harder shot, gets Magic's Boy in the head through the corner of the train. Peeking down to the site, was nearly about to get rewarded with another kill. Instead, it's a Cillian who will kill Repo. And I don't know if Rowland saw the man go on green train. He's going to go hunker away here in the Z connector because it's 1 versus 4. Gets a no-scope to the face, now trying to run away, getting tagged down to 34. And SK Gaming, I mean, everyone playing it slow that round, not budging. And woo, touchdown pass from Madi.
Wow, SK really, really clawing their way back into this. Only 3-round differential now. Vex haven't won a round on CD side, and an even more dominant start at this point to the half than we saw from Vexed. And that's what can be illusory of seeing, a game from the T side of one team and not having very much info on them playing against each other, or their confidence against each other, or just their confidence on T side in general.
It seemed like Vex had the right idea, not budging. The only thing is they had 2 people back behind the green train, so it kind of gave up the control of the outer yard by E-Box and the run up to the bomb train where they can plant in the smoke. If they had got their incendiaries out to stop the rush at ladder and at T-Con, then maybe they slow it down enough.
They did actually dump all their nades,
yeah,
but they didn't. Because they were behind the smoke wall, no one was pushed up close. They had no one to stop the plant or at least go for a trade.
Well, trade's coming out now in favor of SK once again. Looks like Vex get a bit aggressive every single time they get onto these forced by situation. Freeze spotting a shadow. Will land the shot onto Furlan. Man in ladder room, that's going to be Rowland with the deagle. Freeze lucky that he decides to drop off right there.
Ooh, favorable smoke for Rowland actually to walk out here. And I don't know if he'll see Freeze. He might have just heard that. And
he's going to hear those footsteps for sure.
Issue is once a man goes to sandwich, he starts watching his back.
Oh, player from Sky's not watching this. Rowland just spotted Magic's Boy and might be able to work himself around. Will he go for the 1-dig or oh, yes! Rowland, my hero, going for the knife here. That's the danger of these 1vx's on trains. The Terrace got very, very passive in their post plant. Smokes go down everywhere. There is no kit.
He should just get on that.
Oskarish hits a beautiful shot, and then another one.
Another one.
But he didn't stick onto the bomb, so it's going to be a round lost for Vex Gaming. SK very fortunate right there.
That was just a free round. I mean, that would have been a very, very hard plant to stop. I mean, he was behind the train. The other player was in heaven. They had all of that side of the train, the info on that side of the train, And I mean, I'm sure he regretted getting off that right after the first kill was had. But now it looks like Groovy is going to change up the pace, get an auto sniper. Everyone's got full nades. We've got the op on Rowlin once again. SK have to prove themselves one more time, but this might be one of the last tests. I mean, Vexed are suddenly looking like they're on the back foot, not having any grounding on the CT side, which should be easier.
Rowlin still has $5,400 and Oscar still has $4,500. I guess staying alive, they've been the ones to save and not have to rebuy, I guess. So an okay amount of money. If they save any guns, they can still get some rifles. But of course, they want to start winning and try to close this out, prove that they can have a better CT side. So far, though, no rounds for them on the CT side. SK Gaming managed to get 3, none of them in a row.
Yeah.
And Repo might get caught out. He's going to go down for free. That's unfortunate. But Groovy with the Scar 20. Inflicting some battle scars here onto SK Gaming.
And now, you know, as much as this round is over right here, a minute left, Magic Boy has this op, and it's a little bit early to save. I mean, you might have to fight people off, decentivize them from actually trying to hunt you. Getting a kill, though, making a 1v3. Bomb on the ramp, and I guess it's in like within sight of them, but I don't... Vexed, I mean, are known to just give up the bomb in the first place, so...
And what a buy and positioning of that Scar 20 just to shut down exactly what SK Gaming wanted to do. Just going for a very quick intertake.
Yeah.
And they run straight in to the Kryptonite for that strat.
Yeah, Repo went down for free, you know, completely for free. And because Groovy was right there to pick up for him, managed to get a bunch of kills. Not even possible with the op to get those kills that quickly.
Vexter, you're playing pretty passive, maybe even too passive. Like, Magic's Boy obviously doesn't know this, but he could have just walked in and got the bomb down.
Yeah, the bomb was like on the right side of the door, like tucked in there, so I guess they didn't see it. But with this position at T-Con, I mean, they got this locked down. He's not even going to go for it.
Yeah, he's obviously saving, but what is the money right now for SK? All the rounds, even though Vexed Gaming haven't put one up, a lot of them have been very close. I mean, of course, the last one they won and they were all dead.
Yeah.
So a lot of rebuys means money is not great. Saving that is actually pretty key right now, and it's about one more rifle round for SK Gaming. If they lose round 24, Vex will go up to 14 and have broken the money of SK. I think this is a key round.
Yeah, I think it's really really important for Vex that they won that round in the fashion they did, like versus a rush inner, which was the one thing that maybe would have caught them off guard, and then having Groovy pick up those kills so quickly, it keeps SK honest. You know, they're going to reconsider doing things fast after that, and I think that offers up a lot more options for Vex to look to open up this round in a different way here.
Groovy?
This auto sniper.
The positioning of a god
was
inner at the perfect time, and now he's over at Ivy. SK Gaming has to be like, really? Oh, that was really awkward. Now smoke going to go down. Should keep everyone safe for a little while longer.
IV control is something that I know Fallen stresses for his team. Like, he pushes up there with an op, pushes all the way through, fights that battle continuously, believes in the CT advantages in that area to the point that no matter who tries to fight him, he thinks that it's going to be his kill, and that also IV control is so crucial for CTs.
I like that quick little boost up onto the first tower there in the bomb train, just wide out in the open, but that's certainly an off angle in that outer yard. And Asilian, it's not a pop flash at the stairs, he's actually throwing a smoke outside to get the bomb down on the back of the train. They've been, okay, Oscar still holding out on top of the train, no one expects that. Here's the bomb going off underneath him, thinks it's on the ground, but it's actually up on the train. The round going well for Vex. Magic's Boy going to start to inflict some pain. Now he's brought down by Furlan, who's still up top. Gets a player out of T-Con as well. No, he doesn't. Well, gets him out of it, but Free's still alive. Forced to retreat. 1 versus 4. Bomb probably going to be defused within a second. 2, 1, defused.
Yep, and Free's just looking to hang on to that op. Knows he can't do anything 1v4. And Vex actually had a really quick flank because Repo pushed up inner, but just held for that information instead of going all the way through. I mean, what could have happened was if he pushed all the way through, gotten traded 2 for 1, 1 for 1, but then completely changed the plan of SK. Instead, he listened for the ladder drop, knows that no one's coming inner because he's pushed right up, and then was on a quick flank. I mean, pretty much secured it. Guaranteed his team the round by not dying and getting that info. It's not always necessary to push the flank, get the kill as well. And he showed us why.
So we saw the power of the pause for Vexed. Gets them around.
Yeah.
Auto sniper, the Scar 20, helping quite a bit as well in the hands of Groovy. And now SK Gaming forced to save. Freeze with that op. He saved the op. Everyone else will not be able to, well, how many rounds have they lost in a row now? Only 2, so not a big bonus. They can maybe upgrade their pistols, get away with that, but don't want to do any more. Unless, I mean, Vexed Gaming do have 14 rounds. Do you want to play for the win?
It's something you think
Buy
about.
to win, save the tie.
It's an added point of pressure to know that you don't have any outs, right? You don't have an extra round to work with going into match point. So it's not even just like a, I don't want to play OT. It's like, I don't even know if I can get to OT, right?
Yeah.
So from that perspective, that does factor into whether or not you want to buy on the 14th. I mean,
And they'll buy to win.
it looks like they will buy to win, all in. I mean, it's an uphill battle. I don't blame them. 10 to 14, it's going to be really difficult. That, you know, and once you win so many rounds in a row, but then you start to show weakness and lose 2 in a row like that, then you realize that, you know, you don't have like a foolproof strategy for winning rounds convincingly on T side. That some of it came with I don't know, getting that time and strike, having that one strategy work really well. But once Vexed got a beat on them, I think they've adapted quite well. And so even though their CT side has been flawed, at least early on, you know, a truly good team will show adaptive qualities, and they have done that.
Yeah, so now we got to see if SK Gaming on their T side, obviously they started off great. That was 7 rounds in a row for them, some of them though quite close. Now with their pause and kind of lackluster buy, will they have what it takes to turn this around, or will Vex just, you know, if they get this one, SK are quite broke, and it should be Vex to close it out. And SK have bought enough that I think it'll dissuade them from just, you know, YOLO pushing something with Tech 9s. So they're going to look to back up and more than likely kind of play a default. Scar 20 also still on the field from Groovy, so they got to be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it doesn't seem like they have much here, but in terms of utility, they have a lot to work with. And trying to get that flash up on Repo, going to bait out an incendiary if nothing else. And
oh,
no.
Groovy
goes down.
That's not good. He gets very aggressive in those upper box halls with no support from teammates.
What's Repo's
Honestly,
play here?
should have backed off when he saw that first person that close. Isn't a pop flash try to go for that peak? They're flashing out as well.
Wow, he's fearless, man. Pushing, re-aggressing upper. They would never expect it, and he gets 2 kills for it.
Oh my gosh, Repo.
What a player.
Talked about it being unknown. Haven't played in, what, 3 lands, I think it was Thorin said.
Damn,
Not necessarily done fantastic, but...
Completely read them. Just,
yeah.
You know, they're not coming yet. I have a moment here, a timing window where they're probably not going to hold upper, because who would push upper in this situation? Yeah, and again, after doing that flash, and wow, he really capitalized.
And Repo's one of the younger players. I think it was around 18. I mean, that you should be old enough to where pressure is affecting you at that point, but it looks like he's feeling absolutely none of it. And here's Furlan with another nice headshot on to Magic's Boyd. So it's going to be up to Madi and Pimp. Pimp actually is able to slide over, cross in, but brought down by Repo. That's
nice
his 3rd kill. Lined up 2 earlier with a fantastic push, and it's 15 to 10. Match point for Vex Gaming and mid to high 2K for SK. That's their money. Yep. It's not good.
That's why we call that the all-in. I mean, they've got the utility once again, but they don't have the op this time. They don't have any AKs, just a Galil and a Dream.
I'm pretty sure the Galil is a nightmare.
Really impressed by Repo, though. That was like some... I was like, no, you know, people get scared on LAN, and that was like a really, really, really brave play that he made.
It was the play that needed to be done. If he didn't make it, they probably lost the round. But he did make it, and it turned it into the victory.
You can't call that stupid because you're at a huge disadvantage. You just lost an auto sniper. Evening up is in your best interest, so.
SK going very, very slow. They do have the utility to do a full-on execute. We've seen them be quite successful in the outer yard. Not quite as of late, but earlier on, able to get the bomb down with 5v5 plants. Repo moving in once again. Solo man on the inner site and kind of just winning this game single-handedly here in the last home stretch. Finds the first kill of round 26.
Yeah, I mean, do they really want to run face first into him? I'm not sure. He might actually be better at pushing himself than defending solo, but here he is.
Catches
wow.
Madi with the nade out. Madi's got no chance. He's able to... Oh man, and then Repo getting out for free. Going with the flash back in for more. Bit off more than you can chew on that one. Freeze takes him down, but Groovy's able to rotate in. Doesn't quite stop Pimp from crossing and doesn't actually have any nades. Just a flash. Not a lot of utility here. 3 versus 3. As Freeze brings down Oscarish. Magic Boy extremely, extremely low. Now pushing. I can't even tell what he's doing within the smoke. He's on the outside of it. Doesn't spot the man right next to him, but gets the deagle headshot anyways. Furlan on the ground. Rallen actually was on a train, just jumped off. Pimp sees one on the ladder and fails to get that kill. Freeze.
And he's on the bomb.
He's already killed 2. Man already on the bottom. There's a defuse.
Wow.
Vexed Gaming, big upset, winning 16-10 here on train.
Wow, some impressive stuff there. T and CT side managing not to let their nerves get to them and recover in those last few rounds after giving up all of those rounds in a row to SK, who look like they're about to bring it back in a big way. That's a huge win for Vexed. Biggest underdog upset so far we've seen. And a tough loss for SK, who were, to many of us, clear favorites.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a team and kind of a name. Obviously, a big name in Counter-Strike, as was mentioned on the desk. But so far in CSGO, it's never really found that much success. They've got some hot streaks. They looked very, very good in the online last chance qualifiers. But again, that's online. Pimp was an absolute monster with the rifle when it came to online. And if he wasn't performing, they were still winning, but it wasn't as convincing. And here, he really didn't. He was starting to come back a little bit. He went 14 and 22. It was Freeze that did most of the heavy lifting, 21 and 18. But look at Furlan and Groovy on the other side at Vexed, both with over 100 ADR, the only ones in the server with that stat. And with that, we're going to go back down to the desk.
Thanks a lot for that, boys. And of course, sorry about calling you Sadakist to Moses earlier. I looked at the sheet wrong.
You could only wish.
Yeah. Good. A way to go. Before, no, I'm kidding.
One of the few times I've ever seen the casting duo try not to correct you, actually. It's like, and it is Sadakist and Moses over here.
Well, while we're talking about getting things wrong,
Yeah.
SK Gaming got that all wrong. Terrible first half performance from them, and even though they started to claw it back in the second half, they left themselves with such an uphill struggle, just wasn't going to happen, and we end up with what could arguably be seen as one of the biggest upsets in the tournament. Certainly, the biggest upset in the tournament. You think maybe Hellraisers and Team Liquid's a bit bigger, but...
Yeah, because, I mean, the main thing here was, I mean, I guess in a way it was a big upset, especially because of the fact that Vexed obviously didn't have one of their best players, so I would have thought it was even less likely, but I still think Hellraisers beating Team Liquid was a pretty big upset. So, I mean, we've had a couple today.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's talk about, first of all, what went wrong with SK. Disastrous first half, Blue. I mean, they were really all over the place on CT train.
This defense was just completely a mess. They were all over the place. And like I was saying before, too, you could just look at the scoreboard with it. Freeze was the only player that was sitting even close to the top and trying to pick up consistent amounts of frags. Everybody else was just pulling off just noob mistakes, to be completely honest. They're just making a whole load of errors in a lot of these rounds and falling apart time after time.
Now, we obviously had Moses backstage, and I haven't been able to verify this, so apologies if this isn't correct. Yeah. But Moses actually said that SK Gaming had tweeted out that Train was their best map, and that they were. I
think it was Vexed that tweeted that.
Oh, was it Vexed?
Yeah, I think it was Vexed.
Moses got it wrong again, of course. That makes way more sense. But I mean, so what was going wrong in terms of the mechanics on that CT side? You said only Freeze was doing it right. Who was doing it wrong? Where were the mistakes happening?
I mean, Pimp certainly wasn't the monster that he'd been since he joined SK, that's for sure. Yeah. He was like the standout player for me. From what I remember, I think Moddy was having a particularly bad game in the first half as well. Yeah, he's the guy which had like a slightly different name, like I can't remember what it was. It's some variant of Moddy, basically. In this game, it's funny that the Vex guys would say this is their best map, because like I said, as E-Battle, it was their best map, actually. That was like, they were a one-trick pony on this map. I don't think the LAN stats bear it out, but maybe they're including the online games as well, and they just think that they're very strong on this map. The way they won was like a good train team wins, which is you dominate the T side. Like when I was talking about that heritage of like CSGO Lounge, Virtus Pro, that's where they win T side. That's why for them, they can invert the map's balance. So you saw they were rolling on first half there, and the SK guys had no defense, basically.
Yeah, and not just that, though. It seemed like they were just getting out. Vex were getting out of main and Ivy very, very easy. Like they didn't seem to be able to sort of shut down the pushes when they came. I don't know why that was, because they had the utility. They were putting smokes down. They were putting Molotovs down, but they just didn't seem to have any sort of coordination or any will to really take on those Angels.
One of the big things that happened in that match, when you just look at the way that the fragging power ended up going for the side of Vexed, is that we were toting an HLTV article, and everybody was sort of toting Oscarish to be this player actually to watch for, even though he was just standing in. He was coming in as a pretty powerful fragger. It actually didn't end up being him. It was Furlan that was the top fragger for this team, and one other player too that was actually sitting really near the top for these guys. And these guys were just kicking. Yeah, that's who it was. It was Groovy that was just kicking some serious ass throughout the entire match. Him combined with Oscarish, who still did a pretty fantastic job.
Well, I mean, the funny thing, obviously, was Rallen was the guy we picked out as the obvious star. He didn't even have to do much. He was just chilling down there. Everyone else was wrecking.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a replay here. Again, Blue picks these out. We like to develop our talent here. at MLG. So what's going on here, mate?
I believe we got a backstab, and this one was the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, he gets the knife on the guy to his left now.
Yeah, this is...
And then, but this is the round they actually... Here's the thing, they actually lose this round, because even though he could have stuck the defuse through smoke, he chooses not to. They kill everyone, but they have to save with 2 guns. It's actually quite bizarre. The reason we actually highlighted this is, first of all, great play, obviously, to counter around him. Secondly, initially a good play because they get in a situation where they win, but actually, they probably... If they'd have lost the game, this would have been the key round. That would be like the turn. That would be the round that like you couldn't give that up for free, basically, like they did. That was just bad decision making there.
So we talked about Vexed, being a potential banana skin for people here. It's happened. They've upset SK Gaming. Did they particularly impress you, or was it just a case of SK Gaming just being absolutely terrible, not selling into the tournament?
SK was bad. Like, don't take that away from me. This was not the SK that had those great performances on certain maps in the past. But listen. Most teams can play, like I said, most teams who are like not great on train can play a standard CT set. You can play the normal round, you win the CT half, then your problems fall apart on T side. That wasn't what happened here. SK was okay on T side. If you can have that many good T rounds on train, I think you've got to be a good team on that map at the very least. And going forwards, I know they're decent on a couple of other maps, so maybe there's a little bit more to Vex than we thought. I mean, I know certainly CLG was probably thinking, well, that you're going to get to play these guys. We're going to play SK, and then it's going to be the worst match. So I think it's good for CLG, but it's bad in its own way because they come in with a different look here, obviously with a different player. Yeah,
and within the context of this group, it kind of blows it wide open because Counterlogic Gaming and Splice, they're going to play next. And, I mean, Vex, they'll fancy either of them, I would say, especially from having won the first game.
Yeah, Vex just might have actually bought their ticket to the Major off of that, too, as you're going to be going up the North American teams. CLG's in a very weak spot right now. Splice is just weak overall in comparison to them, so they actually threw that victory, too, and upsetting the guys against SK. Their next matchup is probably going to be much more relatively easier, and assuming those issues on CT side don't screw them over as much in the next map, whoever they play against, they actually might just be able to pierce their way through and get an easy invite.
So any final thoughts before we go to the interview? I mean, and any words of comfort for SK Gaming? Are there any positives that they can take from that?
Not really. I mean, one of the worst things.
I knew he was going to say that.
One of the worst things about this game, I thought, actually, was that if I had to pick the most defining quality that separated the two teams, I would seriously say balls. Because the guys who were the Polish guys, they actually played with gusto. They just they put up the plays they wanted to do. They ran out. They took the M jewels they wanted. They forced the action. And actually, the Danish guys, were very passive. They were just sat back. They were just hoping people came into crossfires, came onto the angle. They never made a play, and they actually looked a bit shaken. They looked like they never recovered mentally, and they were down so much when they started their comeback. Even though it looked on the score like it was getting close, I think this was always going to be a Vexed win after that first half.
All right, well, gentlemen, thanks a lot for your thoughts. We're going to go over to the stage now with Puckett, who has got a representative of the victorious Vexed Gaming.
Thank you very much. Chris Puckett here with the coach of Vex. We have Cubic, a very happy Cubic. Big win right there, and according to the analysts, arguably the biggest upset of the tournament so far. Was the team happy to find out you'd be playing on Train?
Of course, we were really happy. Train is our strong map. We had only 1 day of preparation, but like we see, it was a good match.
And are you guys always this strong on Terra side?
This event we were playing with standing, and we knew that we need to play a really simple Counter-Strike. That's why I told guys we need to rush very often, and rushes win this match for us.
We saw a lot of fast rounds, and speaking of kind of the in-game leader, Hyper's back home dealing with some personal issues. Who's making the calls throughout this tournament so far?
We were changing our in-game leading few rounds. I was calling full run Rallen. Everybody said something.
And what do you think of the team's performance in this first game? Can you replicate it again in the winners match coming up?
I hope so. The next day will be very important. We can make 1 step ahead or 2 steps below. So I hope we're gonna play versus Counterlogic Gaming. We need to take this night for some analysts, and I believe we're gonna win this match tomorrow.
All right. Well, speaking of Counterlogic Gaming, you said that's the team you hope to play against. Do you have any history against CLG?
We were playing with them. I wasn't in the squad before, but guys were playing with them on the last major event. They lost in a group stage 16-14 on Mirage.
Well, you guys now get a chance to watch Splice, watch CLG. What are the plans for the rest of the night?
Like I said, we're gonna watch this game. We need to take a rest. We came here to America yesterday, so maybe a little bit, it's called jet lag probably. Yes. That's why we need to take a rest, and I believe tomorrow will be a big day for us.
All right, well, Vexed is all smiles. Cubic, congratulations. I'll let you go celebrate with the team, guys. But Group C continues when we return. Splice, another NA squad, taking on CLG. We'll find out who's coming out on top.